So, it's been a while since we did Chud Watch. It is time for more right-wing cope. Let's get into it, shall we? Oh god, Europeans posting their wins online, and then it's someone with a German flag on them who's like a Pepe Chad, but like a Pepe Chad circa 2015 based on the hairdo. And it says, "This girl is 15 and you're 28. Why are you dating her? Because it's legal in this country." It's so interesting to me that currently the fringe of the Republican Party is obsessed with accusing other people of pedophilia, but like a big portion of those same people post memes like this about how they want to bang underage girls. Like, methinks that the projection is strong. Not a great look, guys. Due to COVID-19, we're asking rioters to work at home and destroy their own stuff. Jokes. When I die, don't let me vote Democrat. Oh my god. Anyone else notice that the flu was magically cured this year? No, it wasn't. There were lower instances of the flu, though, because people have been social distancing, staying at home more, and wearing masks, which honestly helps for any disease that can spread via particulates in the air. Funny how that works. Which is why I'm probably going to be wearing masks during flu season from now on. Y'all canceling people for saying the N-word, but not leprechauns for creating a false image of Irish people. When I see the Leprechaun films, which are masterpieces, by the way, starring Star Wars and Harry Potter alumni Warwick Davis, I often think, this is an accurate depiction of an Irish person. Especially Leprechaun Back to the Hood. That's the one that definitely makes me go, I have a pretty good handle on Irish culture, okay? Here's Matt Gaetz hanging out with a bunch of high school girls, which should be very concerning to anyone who's watched the news in the past month. There's no age that you can't be sexy, and Matt Gaetz replies, I say we change Florida's welcome sign to this. Again, the projection, pretty strong. This is annoying to me too. Like, okay, here's an individual who was shot recently by the cops. Here he is, an image of himself with a gun. And a bunch of right-wingers are like, this is who he really is. And then these same idiots will have pictures of themselves with guns. This one at least looks like the guy might be hunting or something. But I also saw, here's one, yeah. This guy's also being an idiot and pointing a gun at the camera, which I don't think you should do in the first place. I think it's irresponsible. But I also think in this country you have a Second Amendment right to own a gun. As it stands right now, the gun laws are you can own a gun. And if you want to be an idiot with that gun, as long as you're not endangering other people and pose for cringy pictures with that gun, you can do that. I don't know if you know this, but posting cringy pictures online of you being a super badass with your gun doesn't deserve a death sentence. I know. How could I say something so bold? It's crazy. Keep America free, Trump 2020. National news equals fake news, and it's got a sweet monster truck on the top. That's on brand. F your face diaper. F your submission muzzle. Ah, yes, doctors for the past 100 years wearing their submission muzzles during surgery. The only reason you know the names of every person killed in police encounters is because it's rare. If it was a systematic issue, then the names would be innumerable. They are pretty innumerable. Do we want to look at... Can we look at list of people shot by police since, I don't know, 2000? Let's just go like the past 20 years or something. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. I also like the implication that, like, there's a certain number of unwarranted killings by the police that would be okay. Like, whoopsie, that one's just an accident, so it's fine. Oh boy. Let's see, this goes pre-2009 up until here. The fact that it's already being not only divided by year, but months of the year onto separate Wikipedia pages, kind of makes me think it's probably pretty bad. Let's just look at 2019. January, February, March. I don't know. Here are 3 random months. This is January of 2019. Yeah, this is a pretty big list. This is a pretty darn big list. Look at this. It just keeps going. There we go. That's January. Here's February. Here's another big list. I don't mean to laugh about this. It's not funny that these people were killed by the police. Some of them, and again, this is just all killings by law enforcement officers. So some of these people could have legitimately been, you know, trying to shoot at the police or something. But I bet a decent number weren't. So, to say that, like, oh, no one gets killed by the cops, you only hear about... No, a lot of people get killed by the cops regularly, to the point that every month of the year, there is a separate Wikipedia page for police killings. Here's a visualization. Thank you, Sushi Mom.
Let's find out. In this visualization, I'm going to show all reported police killings in the UK and US from January 1st, 2009 to June 7th, 2020. Note, my data source is Wikipedia's list of all killings by law enforcement officers, which includes every incident regardless of whether it was in the right or in the wrong. As the article states, the list makes no implication regarding the wrongdoing or justification on the part of the person killed or officer involved. It's just a list. Despite that, I think this visualization can still paint a general picture of the police's overall effect on each country's population. Also, the Wikipedia list does have citations linking to reputable news articles describing each killing. For this visualization, I've scaled the UK's blue region to be exactly 1/5 the size of the US's red region. So if the two countries do face the same rates of police killings, we should see a similar density of marks throughout both regions. As you can see, that isn't the case. The y-axis measures age, which means younger victims show up lower and older victims show up higher. As you can see, many are of unknown age. Thirdly, white X's depict victims whose names are known, and gray X's depict victims whose names are not known. Deaths that were widely reported in the news, or were notable for other reasons, are shown in green, and have a picture attached to them.
Jesus Christ, it just keeps going. It just keeps going. Let's just get to the end of this so to get the final-ish numbers. So, in this period, there were 26 killings by police in the UK, and over that same period, 16,894 in the United States. So there you go. I don't think I need to add any commentary to that. I think that pretty much stands on its own as a statistic. We are from Oregon. We are the Maskless family. We've been 86'd and kicked out of multiple stores. Registers turned off on us. Cops called. We will not be intimidated. We pulled our kids from school. Not going to play this game. Pure evil. Those poor kids. Those are going to be some socially maladapted children. I get it. Ah, no, I can't watch that one. That's about the accidental discharge. Yeah, this is ridiculous. This shooting After showing body camera footage of the fatal shooting, Brooklyn Center Police Chief says he believes the officer who shot Dante Wright intended to use a taser, but mistakenly drew her service revolver and shot him. Revolver's a weird word. I think police normally use pistols, not revolvers. But, no, I don't believe that. This is just my personal opinion, obviously, but I don't believe that. The taser and the gun look nothing apart, and they're worn on different sides of the body. If she legitimately went to go for her taser, which should be over here, and instead went for her gun, she is the most negligent person to ever hold a firearm. So I don't believe that. I really, really don't. Same thing here. Apparently, if you are a non-white person who poses with their guns, you're a criminal who deserves to be shot dead in the street by the police with no trial. But if you're Donald Trump Jr. or one of these idiots, then posing with guns all of a sudden makes you a patriot. Boy, what's the factor that's different here? I wonder. Cleanse for when we want it. We're gonna need it. Thank you. Virginia cop that pepper sprayed and pulled a gun on black army officer got fired. Deserves to be prosecuted. Ridiculous. The cops are... Are the cops getting worse, or is the reporting just getting better? I legitimately don't know at this point. Like, are they agitated because they're finally getting at least a little bit held to account for this shit? Not a ton, bear in mind. People are just pointing it out. So are they just agitated, like, oh my god, people are actually paying attention to our malfeasance now, and they're more on edge than normal? It's just crazy. Absolutely insane. Look at him, too. He's holding it like this, like it's sideways. What a jackass.
Lieutenant, get out of the car. Take your seatbelt off and get out of the car. You made this way more difficult than it had to be if you just complied. Get out of the car.
I'm reaching for my seatbelt.
Fine. Take your seatbelt off and get out of the car. Straight onto the ground. Straight on.
The fact that this guy is keeping his composure, well pepper sprayed, and under threat of his life being taken away by this racist pig fucking cop. That's some, like, no one should have to deal with that situation, but mad fucking props for his ability to do so.
Onto the ground.
Ma'am. Is your commanding officer available?
Down. Let's go.
Is your commanding
Let's
officer
go.
available?
Get on the ground again. Get on the ground.
Can you please talk to me about what's
Get on the ground. Get on the ground now.
Can you please talk to me about what's going on? Can you please talk to me about what's going on?
You're not.
Why?
You're not.
This is fucked up. This is fucked up.
Fucking ridiculous. I hate the police.
Pooh, I'm really shiesty. Spring break, bitch. Don't wear a mask. 8% Celsius, I highly recommend.
I think Corona got canceled. I once drank 37 beers, but it was all off of Dunkaroos.
What are you, Celsius or a regular guy?
Spring break, bitch.
I feel like a lot of white boys don't want to put down on some thick. A lot of white boys don't want to put down on some thick shit. They're worried about school and economics. Quit being scared. Go get a big booty Latina. Sir.
Yes?
Get you a big booty Latina.
What would get me a big booty Latina?
You tell me.
I'm already married to one. No nací ayer. White boy summer.
White boy summer every day.
It's the white boy summer out here, you know?
White boy summer? It's a real nigga summer. Fuck is he talking about?
Hey, you know, take that shit from you, come get it back in blood.
Outside, being outside, you broke, real shit.
Hey, no cap. Before we turn on fire, bro. Real shit, you know? But anyway, Ferraris are great. Latinas are great. Miami's great. Ciao.
Oh, why are... Fellow white people, why are we like this? Why are we like this? I'm disappointed every day. Every day we stray further from God's light. We're gonna actually see it? Okay, here we go.
Pull that up, honey.
got ugly women. Want me to spit on you, ugly?
Swear to you, if
What
you
an
do that, I
ugly.
get
What an ugly. Why do you wear clothes like that? Why do you have clothes like that? God, you're ugly. No wonder people hate you. Israelis rule.
I know.
Israelis rule. Israelis rule because you guys are ugly as
Leave them alone. They're human.
Oh, her hair is awesome.
They're Muslims.
The store employee, I mean. She threatened to call the police?
Hi,
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
at Walgreens. These guys are calling. They're Muslims. They're here in our country. In our country. In our country.
How does she expect... See, if I'm the 911 operator on this, I'd get fired. Because I'd be like, well, ma'am, it kind of sounds like you're being a C-word, so... Do you have any actual emergency, or is this the end of the conversation?
Listen, this guy is threatening me. This guy is threatening me.
Ladies,
Will
move
you
back.
please-
Yes.
Really? Because you know what?
Look at that.
I'm there.
Ah. I didn't. And she cried. I didn't do anything. Shut up. Yes, you did. Don't try and be a victim now, you loser. I'm picking up groceries in real life and see a Karen. What do? Probably film it for my channel.
I accept your apology.
I have friends that are
Yeah,
Muslims.
I have friend. Shut up. Spotted today in California. Lots of honking and thumbs up. Oh, God. Gun registry? Why would I want the government to know I own guns? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh. Is this real? Is this real? I almost want this. This is horseshoe theory of awful taste. This is so bad, it's circled back around to something that I actually want. It's like postmodern art or something. Facts over feelings, liberal. Newsflash, trans men will never be women, and trans women will never be men. True. And those wings will never look good. Jesus Christ. Look at that. What is that? Yikes. I like our earrings, though. Those are cool.
Grandma and grandpa, they kick us living happily with her grandma and grandpa. They kick us out for not getting the COVID vaccine.
Oh, I guess you should get it then, or face the consequences of your actions.
Now we're homeless.
Good for grandma and grandpa for standing up for themselves. I'm gonna say it deeply saddens me that 500,000+ deaths have come from people acting like impetulant children like these two. And especially to the healthcare workers who have passed away for treating people like this got sick. This is what the American conception of individualism has done to the human brain, is it makes you incredibly childish, I'll say. The fact that you feel that you have no responsibility to protect your elders in your family tells me a lot. A complete disregard for their safety when they're extremely prone to having severe COVID-19 symptoms. I mean, Jesus, like, shame on you.
living happily with her grandma and grandpa. They kick us out for not getting the COVID.
What a douche. Why even have a trial? That's how they used to do it in the South. Convicting Derek... Oh, God. I hate the Donald. Convicting Derek Chauvin regardless of the evidence just because is no better than the lynching of slaves during slavery. Changed my mind. No, he's on trial right now, and he'll either be found guilty or not guilty based on the evidence. They're already trying to say that if he gets convicted, which he may or may not, I don't really trust the justice system in this country. But, like, the fact that they're hedging their bets in case he does get convicted, to say that it wasn't because he actually murdered someone, it was because of cancel culture or some other shit. It's stupid. There's Caitlin Bennett and her husband. Do you want to watch my wife poop her pants? Oh, is it a Tinder profile? Or a Grindr profile? I don't know what that is. I've never used either. It doesn't look like Tinder, though. I think I've seen screenshots of Tinder.
Rush the border, collapse this country. Our reporters were out here a few days ago. You told them they can't be here. Those are power poles. Those are right-of-ways that the taxpayers pay for. We have right to ride horses.
You have a hard time finding that legit? You feel like Hannah would use Grindr? Let's imagine I'm single for a second. I'm not. But if I were single, do you think I have the social acuity to meet new people via app and meet up with them to fuck? I barely want to meet people in public at the grocery store. You would think I'm going to let someone else into my house just to bang? No.
Down this, to walk down this, do whatever we want right here. You're putting these barriers up right here. This right here violates state and federal law. This is an illegal encumbrance, like everything else you're doing. Everything you do is a goddamn crime. And just because you come and wave your finger at us doesn't make you the boss. It's what you call color of law. Just like they're doing smuggling these children in here. This whole thing's a goddamn fraud.
Alex Jones walks like a gorilla. You ever notice that? He's got an interesting what's the word? Gait.
All of this is taxpayer paid for. All of this is a giant criminal fraud. All of this. Stay out of my space, buddy.
I'm out of here.
That said, run.
Jesus Christ, Alex. Oh God, what did Carl do now? Let's see what it says. Someone says, congratulations on acknowledging that human beings are not Tamagotchis which grow and mature at the exact same rate. Now explain that it depends on the child comment in the context of an 11-year-old having sex. Sargon says, this is literally Sargon conceding that humans mature at different rates. His opponents had just said, you can't tell me I wasn't ready to have sex, and Sargon couldn't because he wasn't there, but he defends AOC laws on the grounds that we must have universal rules. AOC in this case being age of consent. You don't have to be present to acknowledge that 11-year-olds cannot consent to sex. Sargon says, you aren't listening to what is being said. Do you believe humans reach sexual maturity at different ages or not? Of course. Do you think humans can reach sexual maturity at the age of, say, 11 and therefore are mature enough to consent to sex? Sargon says, but you believe that someone who is sexually mature cannot consent to sex purely because of age alone. They respond, 11-year-olds are not sexually mature, which is correct. Sargon says, so you do not believe humans sexually mature at different times? Oh my God. Does Sargon want to have sex with 11-year-olds? Here's audio.
I think it depends on the child, really, doesn't it?
I was well under the age of 11 when I started having sex, and so what I like to do is put people on the...
What? Then you weren't having sex. You were being molested. You were, that's... Oh, no.
On the other side of the argument. It's like, what you have to do is you have to say that someone like me, not anybody else,
It's so
but
sad
me...
when someone who, like, got taken advantage of or was in a really bad situation, whatever, takes that experience and then contorts it into believing that that's okay, so they don't have to face the fact that they were taken advantage of.
Me, that I was too stupid to appreciate the nature and quality of what I was doing at the time. So please convince me I didn't know what I was doing.
Because you didn't. If you were under 11, you did not know you were... If you were 11, if you were 12, if you were 13, you didn't know what you were doing. 14, 15, 16... Honestly, no. Just no. What are you doing? Why do you think this is okay?
Yeah, I think it depends on the child, really, doesn't it? Because some kids...
That's what the Catholics say.
Others. Well, it's true, and, it's true, though, it should really be a case-by-case basis, but I can see why the whole thing. But it's not really something I'd ever put too much thought into, to be honest.
Holy shit, Sargon's a piece of shit, isn't he?
President. When is he coming? Think. Good old Donnie Boy's still president. When is he coming back?
Let me rephrase this since you asked me the other night.
No, when is he coming back? You think he's coming back?
I don't know for sure.
But when do you think?
Could be this month.
Like what day?
I don't know.
You said this month, so by the end of April, good old DT is going to be our president again.
I don't know.
What do you think?
The military's in control right now.
Joe Biden's not in control. The military?
I'll tell you why.
Tell me why.
He hasn't been allowed in the Pentagon.
Uh-huh.
He has not been given the nuclear codes.
His team has been at the Pentagon, and he does have the nuclear codes.
He does not fly in Air Force One. Trump.
He does fly in Air Force One.
Does?
Okay.
This is why I think Trump is still considered president by the military.
Mm-hmm.
The election was stolen.
Stolen.
And that proof is coming out right now.
Okay.
These poor people. All fucking brainwashed. I'd rather be inbred than have pronouns in my bio, to be honest. Interesting. Hey, Biden, God is giving you one last chance. Come out and admit before the entire world that the election was a fraud. Who was involved and that Trump was the real legitimate winner. Do this and history will look upon you more favorably. Wowzers. Let me see. This is a post from the Donald. Says, there's no way I can live with leftists and my borders for much longer. Either they back down or we need to steamroll them. I'm sick and tired of just waiting around while the left continues to manipulate children and young adults. How many hundreds of thousands of minors are being put through mental anguish by leftist garbage? Ah, yes, I remember when I was a child and I was put through the mental anguish of being taught to care about other people and allowing people to be who they are as long as they're not hurting others. And learning to share. I just found out a school down the road tried to push transgenderism into the 5th grade sex ed videos just for 5 years ago that were separated based on sex so students could mostly just learn about their natural bodies. Oh no, the kids are gonna learn that a certain subset of people who exist? Oh no! I can't deal with another 10 years of this insanity. I'm seriously ready to push for all-out conflict. I find myself loathing every Democrat I meet. I hope the FBI keeps an eye on that site. That'd be nice. This says he, him equals never been laid. And then someone responds, you know that includes you, right? It's a good day to be she, her.
You only have one life, and you're...
Oh, I think I watched that one. Here's a good one. Ben Shapiro, about in response to the Jordan Peterson being depicted as the Red Skull in Marvel Comics, says, "These woke scolds ruining comic books have been on for several years. This is the natural apex. Anyone who says this about comics, in particularly Marvel Comics, has never read a Marvel comic. And it frustrates me to no end that idiots like Ben Shapiro, who I guarantee have never read a single comic book in their life, are like, oh my god, politics in my comic books." I posted a whole thread the other day when Tim Pool was bitching about Falcon and the Winter Soldier being too political, and I was like, oh no, politics in a show about the legacy of Captain America. And then I posted 5 or 6 pages from different Captain America comics that are all explicitly political and what they would consider woke. And not new ones from the last 10 years. A couple maybe were from the last 20 years, but the vast majority were from between the 60s and the 90s. So anyone who thinks that political commentary in comic books is a new thing is an idiot, and you should disregard their opinion on said subject immediately. Here's a Stan soapbox from back in the day. For those who don't know, Stan Lee was the editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics for a long period of time. You know Stan Lee from the Marvel movies. He did all the cameos while he was still alive. He was basically the public face of Marvel for decades. And at the back of issues of Marvel Comics, every month he would do Stan's Soapbox, where he would answer letters to the editor, basically. Or talk about some subject that he's been thinking about. So here's one from back in the day. "From time to time we receive letters from readers who wonder why there's such moralizing in our mags. They take great pains to point out that comics are supposed to be escapist reading and nothing more. But somehow, I can't see it that way. It seems to me that a story without a message, however subliminal, is like a man without a soul. In fact, even the most escapist literature of all, old-time fairy tales and heroic legends, contained moral and philosophical points of view. At every college campus where I may speak, there's as much discussion of war and peace, civil rights, and the so-called youth rebellion as there is of our Marvel mags, per se. None of us lives in a vacuum. None of us is untouched by the everyday events about us, events which shape our stories just as they shape our lives. Sure, our tales can be called escapist, but just because something is for fun doesn't mean we have to blanket our brains while we read it. Excelsior! Stanley. Yeah. Stanley's, pretty based. Not entirely, though. There's some things Stanley has done that I disagree with, but he's pretty good on social issues, grading on the curve of his time. He was pretty good, pretty darn good. Also helped create, of course, like X-Men and stuff, so that's cool. Let's look at some right-wing watch stuff.
I'm telling you, Donald Trump, with 100% accuracy, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, lest I get shadow banned or my page is completely...
How about Ben Shapiro as Mr. Mixelpixlix? Next. I could never do it. I could never do his name. Mr. Mixelzixplix. That's actually a pretty good choice. Yes, they should do that.
Take it away, has won single-handedly the presidency of the United States of America in the biggest landslide victory in the history of this nation. I'm telling you, I'm not worried. I'm not fretting. I don't have basketball-sized ulcers. I'm not going to lose 1 second sleep over any of it. Joe Biden didn't win. He's not the president. He will never be the president. And come January the 20th, I'm telling you, I'll be wing, bing, 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 winner, winner, chicken dinner.
How'd that work out? Trumparilla or Trumparia? Tampa Bay? What is this? Oh no, it's another boat festival. More than a boat rally, more than a pub crawl, more than VIP parties. Trumparilla is a weekend-long celebration of an America First Trump 2024. Gasparilla was canceled, but Trumparilla was born. Out of the ashes of one of Tampa Bay's greatest days, shut down because of the China virus, and a group of bold individuals would not stand by and allow normal life to stop. It's astonishing that the city of Tampa Bay could sanction a boat parade for the Super Bowl, but is frowning upon Gasparilla. We certainly should be able to celebrate events other than that sports championships. Remember the last time they did a boat parade and some of the boats sank because they crashed into each other? Just a thought.
Costs. Resist resist the vaccine at all costs. Resist microchips. Stop wearing face masks. Go outside.
Don't do these things, by the way. I mean, you can go outside and breathe fresh air if there's no one else around you. That's fine. But, you know, continue to follow COVID precautions for the time being.
Breathe in some fresh air. Get some exercise. Eat right. Get your sleep. All that good stuff. Enjoy your life. And let me worry about the government and everybody else trying to destroy your freedoms, okay? That's what I eat, sleep, and breathe to do for all of you, and will continue to do it till I can't breathe anymore, all right? And the bottom line is, I'm not getting an injection. I'm not getting microchip. And if anybody tries to do it to me, or I'm sure millions of Americans out there, guess what? They're going to get a lead injection instead.
God, these people just want to shoot people so badly. Why? Why are they shooting? Why do they want to shoot people so bad? God.
But I sensed the Lord doing this. And he says, watch me work.
Yes.
Watch me work. So this is a word from the Lord, and he's not happy with what's going on. He's not happy with some of these things that have been decided, and he's not happy with the opposite direction that he wants to go.
I think he's talking
where
about
abortion
Biden
is
getting
concerned,
elected.
where the Supreme Court is concerned, where religious liberty is concerned, where Israel is concerned. And he's saying, watch me work.
Yes, amen.
Lord, we're going to see you work in this.
we are.
We're going to see you work in the midst of this.
Thank you.
And we invoke the name of Jesus and take authority over the powers and the principalities and the spirit of communism that is trying to infiltrate, overtake, and attack
The
this
spirit
nation
of
right
communism.
now. You bow your knee.
Lenin's ghost himself ghostbustered me.
To the name.
Ghostbustered is what I call it when a ghost comes and gives you a blowy. Like in the movie Ghostbusters.
Name of the Lord Jesus. You hear the voice of the Lord through this man of God. You have no authority in this. Watch me work.
Honestly, no. It should be called getting Aykroyded, because that scene in Ghostbusters where Dan Aykroyd gets blown by a ghost is based on what he thinks is a true story. Dan Aykroyd thinks a ghost tried to get frisky with him once, because Dan Aykroyd is a crazy person. Just for the record.
Democrat Party tonight. Because you ain't messing with me anymore.
At least Dan Aykroyd is crazy in the fun way, where he believes in ghost and Bigfoot, and not in the way that he wants to destroy the democracy in the United States because a pillow salesman told him to.
Messing with the people in this room, and you're not messing with these pastors. I saw God get up off of his throne, roll up his sleeves, and tell America, I'm coming. Somebody help. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Dan Aykroyd also believes his vodka tastes better because it comes in skull bottles. Hold on. For the record, Dan Aykroyd is right, okay? I don't drink anymore. However, Crystal Head vodka is, some smooth shit. I gotta clean this off. I don't know where the cork went. Plus, it's just a cool bottle. Let's be real. That's a cool bottle. Anyway.
And I'm going to tell you...
That would make a cool bong. How could you turn this into a bong? You just need to put, like, a thing in his mouth. Someone teach me how to turn this into a bong. I guess I could probably just buy a bong shaped like a skull. That's not as fun, though.
That this is not all good news. No, no, no. Listen to me. This is not all good news. God said, whatever I have to do to save America, I will do it. If it means natural disaster, I'll do it. If it means destroying her economy and her global prestige, I will do it. God is not about drag queens reading to our children.
They're so afraid of drag queens. What's up with that? I don't get it. I've not met, like... I in passing, I guess I've met at, like, Pride. Like, one or two drag queens. I've certainly seen drag shows. But, like, why are they so afraid of drag queens? I don't get it.
God is not about your 6-year-old because of social media thinking she's a boy.
They're so afraid of trans
this
people.
This gender bending, this perversion, this Coca-Cola, American Airlines, Delta Airlines, all of you that are sitting there telling Georgia how they can write their laws.
Shut up, Coca-Cola. We're gonna stop black people from voting and you're gonna like it.
Through your money, you're gonna tell a free state in America what they can do? God's not gonna sit back, folks. Jehovah Jireh is on the move.
And shout, you know, his ears shining like, and you walk up and say, man, this androgynous trend toward having men do everything that women do, or vice versa, this stuff is ungodly, folks. It is ungodly. Now, I'm going to start meddling now, but you know, I've often said, you know, because it used to be that a guy wearing an earring was either a sailor who had crossed the equator or homo. And I guess the deal was that one side meant sailor crossing the equator, the other side meant homosexual. But now that's gone because, of course, all men wear earrings. Or some men, many men wear earrings. Notice, no earrings, no piercing.
Jesus Christ, they're just little dangly things to hang from your ears. Wear them or don't, no one cares.
And there never will be. But I've often joked and said, you know...
It's funny, too, because biblical men wore jewelry. Like, there are plenty of depictions of biblical men wearing earrings and stuff. It wasn't uncommon. If you weren't poor, at least back in the day. Like, if you had some wealth, you probably had jewelry and stuff, including earrings.
How would a guy feel if you walked up to him? He got two great big old diamond earrings in his ears and you know, his ears shining like, and you walk up and say, man, I really like those earrings. Where can I get a pair of those for my wife? You think he'd be insulted? I don't see why he should be.
If he was maybe insecure, but like, if... I guess I wouldn't see the issue of him being like, oh sure, here's where I got them. Who cares? It's all based on their insecurities. It's so strange seeing people's entire worldview and political positions being dictated by their own insecurity.
Because, you know, a grown man with two great big old shining earrings in his ears to me looks like a woman. I mean, his ears look like women's ears to me.
Have I even told you how many femboys I've accidentally brought to bed because they were wearing earrings? God will forgive me because those were the ears of a woman.
I wouldn't put that mess in my ears.
Jesus Christ.
Killed a guy, shot a guy thinking she. By the way, I could go on that one. Can I say this? Right wing watch, you listening? Anybody, you can give me a thumbs up here. Anybody wants to? Just because a bunch of us agree with it doesn't make it right, though. But can I tell you something? Sorry, Reggie. A woman's got no business being a cop. A woman's got no business being a cop. Now, there's a place for a woman in law enforcement, but it is not pulling up at my house and arresting some burly 6'5", 285-pound. That is not a woman's job. How did we ever get to the point where we think that is normal for a woman to do that? Why?
What's up with the video glitching? Is the video glitching for people?
That's perverted, see? Perversion of the male-female rules. Men and women are equal, but they're not equal. Come on, stop saying that. Men and women aren't equal. Why have we bought that lie? Why do we promote that lie? Why do you say, well, women deserve equal? No, listen, I'm just telling you. A man can cook, but it's a woman's job. Sorry.
This is the same guy that we watched a couple weeks back, and he was like, I don't want to say the N-word, but why can't I? Like, you know.
Imperfect a vessel is, the more glory God gets from using him to accomplish what he wanted to accomplish. Having said that, we are going to respect and honor President Trump a whole lot more in heaven once we understood the courage and bravery of what he's had to do and put up with. It's literally in the it's you know what David showed and saying, I'll take on that giant, and he wasn't a 1%, he's a 0.0001%. There is that same caliber of steeliness, of resolve, and of knowing he's put there by God that is in President Trump. The weaker, more imperfect a vessel is, the more glory God gets.
Jesus Christ.
Is God showing you about?
Does. You watch what God does in government, in this administration.
I always wonder how much it pays to be the sort of like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Background, like tone setting music, just the sort of droning piano person in the background. I don't know why they don't just get a Casio that has like pre-programmed stuff in there, but they have a keyboardist whose just like entire job is to just do backing tracks for their insane QAnon-esque conspiracy theories.
Because President Trump still is President Trump.
I mean, all ex-presidents are still usually referred to, they can be at least referred to as like President Obama, President Trump, President Carter. Like, that's fine, you can do that. Doesn't mean they are the current president, though, and Trump is not.
I'm not making this political. It's not political. I'm just saying that the demonic, that the demonic and those that are in power, seemingly they're really not in power. It's all theater. It's theater, because just watch what happens. We're getting ready to see a shift, and the whole world is gonna witness it. Watch what the Lord does. I thought it would have happened already, but definitely by April 10, 23, 24, 25, in that neighborhood, you watch what happens in America, because the whole world, we're going to be dancing in the streets. You watch.
Again, I like the idea that they are so excited about the idea that they will destroy democracy. Fun.
Is suppressed. What I'm not going to do is suppress true free speech. When.
Oh, yeah.
Well, ask me, Aaron.
Peter, of Peter's Political Perspective, the conspiracy theorist we talked to last week, or earlier in the week, sorry. Mike Lindell, who's making a new social media platform called Frank Speech, I think it's called. Peter is supposed to be going there on the 20th when it opens and starting his new channel. Apparently they're going to be banning all swearing.
Eric, they said, how are you going to...
Or certain swears, including things like, God damn it, or whatever. Taking the Lord's name in vain is banned on this website.
How are you going to...
This is a Christian Minecraft server, Mike.
Let everything go, porn and swearing and everything? I said, absolutely not. And here's why. We have a thing we found in the Constitution and our founding fathers that defines what free speech is.
So free speech isn't free speech if it's things he doesn't like. Starting a social media without porn, you're going to learn the lesson Tumblr learned, and that's don't mess with people's ability to look at boobies.
And Eric, get this. This Judeo-Christian platform we're going to have here, they go by biblical principles. They get to the Supreme Court, you have the 10 Commandments there. And you'll see our definement there. So in other words, you can't, you're not going to have porn up there. You're not going to have these sites that contain material that go against our Constitution, go against what our founding fathers put in there. It really defines what free speech is. For example,
we define our free speech by the porn that we're not allowing you to post.
Swearing is now you're not going to be able to swear. There'll be 4 words for sure you can't say. You can't say the C word, the N word, the F word, and you can't use God's name in vain. What a concept, right?
Wow. Yeah, that's really puritanical. I like it.
Now,
wow, that's really puritanical. I like it. Good God.
Someone goes out there and says, I don't like what's going down at the border, or I don't like that our country was attacked and nobody's trying to know he did anything about it or is doing anything about it. If I can't say those things, that's free speech.
Listen,
and you can't do another thing. You can't do what we defined in there is totally defame someone. What's the ninth?
What are you being sued for again? From Dominion, Mike? Remind me. Was it slander and libel? Okay, just checking.
Commandment. It's thou shouldn't put. I can't even think now, but it's in the 9th commandment. You're bearing false witness, I believe it is. So if you're putting a complete lie against Eric, if I say Eric Metaxa did something terrible and it's an out and out lie, that's not free speech. That is not free speech. Okay. What I'm not going to do is.
Jesus Christ, Mike.
We're telling.
Democracies, these corporate American.
Now, sometime last year, I walked out of this building. Really?
Sorry, just whipped him. Oh, Jesus wouldn't do that. Heck, he wouldn't. He whipped him. Turned over the money tables. You don't do this in my Father's house. The zeal of my house has eaten me up. My Father's house. He was a man. But the church, the ecclesia, the government of God, has been so neutered and so turned effeminate, almost homosexual. I'm just telling you straight up.
The conflation of
it's
the conflation of homosexuality with the femininity is interesting, considering there's a lot of pretty manly gay dudes out there. I don't know if this guy's met many gay dudes, but okay.
It's ridiculous.
I did hear O'Keefe and Veritas have been banned from Twitter. That's good. That's good. He's a lying piece of shit.
Where are the men? Where are the men? Where's the maleness? Where is the, I will defend the children. I will protect the family. My ushers at my church, they all pack. I mean, they all pack. You come to my place and you think about starting.
Does he think gay people are incapable of holding and shooting guns? Does he think gay people are incapable of fucking your shit up? No one tell him about Stonewall.
Something, you're dead. They'll kill you. They'll shoot you because they'll protect they're going to protect everybody else. You try to pull something, you're dead. I said, listen, guys, if I'm up there preaching and somebody comes up running, make sure you get them. And just kill them. Just shoot them dead.
What are the chances this guy gets tax exemption for his church? Just curious.
Because people do not want to hear.
Hold on. I'll show you guys something cool someone printed for me a while back. Someone made me a trans rights brick. That's pretty good. The coloring's a little blown out by the camera, but
the truth of the Bible, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the mess we're in because people don't want to hear the truth politically. Everybody says, y'all just need to hush. Just roll over and be done with it. Joe Biden is the legitimate president of the United States of America, and you have lost your ever-loving mind if you still believe such bogus nonsense. Look, I don't care what you think about Greg Locke, and I don't care what fake Jesus thinks about my political stand under this tent. Let me tell you something. There's not one place in that Bible. I said not one place that God tells me I've got to accept something that's deceitful and lies and fraudulent. God tells me I need to believe the truth, not a bunch of wicked nonsense.
Reality is a bunch of wicked nonsense now. That's great. Jesus Christ, these people. Pat Robertson was accidentally based today. Did you see this?
Also, I want to say, I think a lot of people are thinking like I was, that both the gun and the taser would be put on your dominant side, but it's not that way.
They have to cross where they have them different.
So you actually have to reach across yourself to
you
get
feel the difference.
It's definitely
there's just no
discernible.
comparison. As I say, they're not making tasers in this yellow color anymore. They're making in black. They're making them yellow. Now, how she made the difference was she shot that poor guy to death, saying, "This is what I thought. I thought was my taser." And if you can't tell the difference in the feel of those things, it's crazy. Anyhow, she deserves. But I am pro-police, folks. I think we need the police. We need their servants, and they do a good job. But if they don't stop this onslaught, they cannot do this. The police in Virginia picked up a lieutenant in the Army and began to give him trouble. And our state police are highly trained. But why they don't stop this? And this thing is going on in Minnesota, but the Derek Chauvin, they ought to put him under the jail. He has caused so much trouble by kneeling on the death of George Floyd. It's just, on his neck.
Pat Robertson just said Chauvin should be put under the jail. Based.
It's just terrible what's happening. And the police, why don't they open their eyes to what the public relations are? They've got to stop this stuff.
Maybe they need more training.
Do you know how bad the police have to be fucking up for Pat Robertson to start being like, this might be a bit much? God, look at this one. It's so beautiful. It's like John Woo and Mel Gibson directed a flag together.
When the states are done, I think that Trump knows when the states are done doing their investigations of the elections, when enough of the people are pissed off about the fraud, when enough people get red-pilled, I think we're going to end up with a new election, a redo of the 2020 election. And I think
really?
That's not how anything works. The Constitution does not lay out any process for redoing elections. Not how it works. Sorry.
knows that's coming.
Also, there was no fraud of any kind. The election was legitimate.
So he doesn't have to commit to 2024 because I think we're going to have a redo of the 2020 election at some point. I mean, look in Myanmar. Military takes over and says, oh, guess what? We're going to do a new election, paper ballots, and we're going to count the ballots. We're probably looking at something like that here in the U.S. And so Trump doesn't need to commit to 2024 because I think something is going to happen before then. I think that Trump knows when the states are done doing their investigations of the elections, when enough of the people are pissed off about the fraud, when enough people get red-pilled, I think we're going to end up with a new election, a redo of the 2020 election. And I think Trump knows that's coming. So he doesn't have to commit to 2024 because I think we're going to have...
Sorry, the Quartering got a strike on one of his channels for COVID misinformation. And I was reading about it. I apologize. Okay, that's probably enough right-wing cope. Unless there's any good Patriot takes, but I don't think so.